Live at 4, this is 13 News Now.
We are in for a wet evening in Hampton Roads.
We saw the winds picking up in Norfolk this afternoon as the rain gets closer. Welcome to 13 News Now at 4. I'm Regina Mobley.
And I'm Janet Roach. Let's get an update on the wet weather that is on the way, and some of it actually already here. Evan Stewart is tracking that.
That's right. We've been tracking this line of showers working its way eastward with a cold front. Ahead of that front, very warm temperatures well up into the 60s, near 70 degrees, but we are looking at the showers rolling through as well. Mainly just some light rain. It picks up in intensity a little bit more once you talk about some of the darker greens that are showing up here back across Southampton County, parts of Isle of Wight County around Windsor, up towards Smithfield and crossing over the river. As we move up the peninsula, you can see some of that light rain right now through Newport News and around Pocosin and through the Middle Peninsula, starting to work its way eastward out into the Chesapeake Bay. So we'll look for a few scattered showers as we go through the evening hours, but the big story will be the drop in temperatures later tonight. Ahead of that front, very, very warm. 67 degrees, the temperature in Norfolk, 66, Newport News, Williamsburg, 65 in Franklin and in Elizabeth City, 64 in Currituck. But once the front moves through around 9 o'clock or so, we'll see those temperatures start to fall and fall pretty significantly. So over the next 6 hours, we're looking at the rain readings by 11 o'clock down into the 50s, and it'll likely be around 50 degrees at midnight. That's the high temperature tomorrow. By the afternoon, we're looking at readings in the 30s, so a big drop in temperatures. And then we go right back up a day or two later. I'll have details on that and what looks to be a pretty soggy 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Evan. With the rain and the roller coaster temperatures in the forecast, you'll want to keep a close eye on the weather. That is where the 13 News Now app comes in. Download it for free and get access to the forecast and radar no matter where you are.
Developing now in Matthews County, a mother accused in the death of her one-year-old son went to court. Authorities charged 24-year-old Miranda Gilbert with homicide, child abuse, and child neglect last week after her son died. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens is live in Matthews. And Nico, we're learning more about what led to the boy's death.
Yeah, that's right, Janet. Disturbing details inside that criminal complaint. It explains how that one-year-old died and what the conditions were like inside the home, which investigators are calling extremely deplorable. Now, Miranda Gilbert's attorney did not ask for a bond today. Here she is on your screen walking into court this morning. Gilbert has two other children, a 2- and a 3-year-old, and in that criminal complaint, it says there were significant presence of rats, mice, and cockroaches eating leftover food inside the home. Investigators found rodent feces and waste inside the home, including in areas where Gilbert stored the children's diapers and where she kept food in the kitchen. Gilbert is charged with 4 felonies, including felony murder. Now, last Thursday, Gilbert admitted to leaving her 1-year-old son alone in the bathtub, and when she came back, she found her child face down in the tub. According to the criminal complaint, the child died from severe burns to his face and body from the extremely hot water.
My intent is to seek a conviction and to have a jury trial in Matthews County. There's further investigation. We haven't received the reports from the medical examiners. There'll be different experts that will be consulted and involved, but we are going to prepare for trial.
And the Commonwealth's attorney says there was also a civil hearing regarding social services and Gilbert's 2 other children. I asked him earlier if he could speak on the hearing or on the outcome. He declined to comment. Gilbert, she's expected back in court for a preliminary hearing April 4th. Live in Matthews County, I'm Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
A Norfolk man is behind bars tonight for a deadly shooting. 38-year-old Joseph Burke Jr. is charged with second-degree murder and use of a firearm. He is in the Norfolk jail without bond. He is accused of killing 19-year-old Keyshawn Alexander last night on Ollinger Street. That is in the Compostela area of Norfolk. Compostela area. Norfolk Public School says Alexander was a senior at Lake Taylor High School. The school is providing counselors for students. Police have not revealed the motive in this murder. Now, that shooting comes just a few days after a peace rally in Compostela this weekend. Sunday, community members came together to call for an end to the violence on the south side. The rally followed another deadly shooting in the area less than 2 weeks ago.
A Newport News woman is accused of crashing her car and leaving a hurt passenger behind. Now police are looking for her. The crash happened Sunday in Williamsburg on Monticello Avenue near Ironbound Road. Police say Rebecca Browell was driving when she crashed. A man in her car was badly hurt, but Browell was accused of leaving him in the car and running off. She's charged with felony hit and run and driving on a suspended license. Anyone who may know where she is should call Williamsburg police. A man accused of murdering 2 people in Newport News last summer is back in Virginia. Authorities extradited Amos Arroyo after he surrendered in Texas last week. And this is a new mugshot from Newport News. He'd been on the run for more than 6 months. Police believe he shot his ex-girlfriend, Patricia Joseph, and her father, Jesse Barnes, in July. Authorities say Arroyo pled to Georgia immediately after the killings and at some point went to Texas. He's charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder.
A bill that would honor the life of Ashanti Billy, the 19-year-old Virginia Beach woman who was kidnapped from JEB at Little Creek last fall, is making its way through the state capitol. Norfolk Delegate Jay Jones proposed a bill that would create an adult version of an Amber Alert, dubbed the Ashanti Alert. Push alerts and billboards would notify the public about involuntary missing adults who are too old for an Amber Alert but too young for a Silver Alert. Delegate Jones says the bill is gaining support.
I'm very proud of the fact that we've got Democrats and Republicans who have signed on to this legislation because, as I have said, this is a public safety issue. This is not a partisan issue.
The bill is scheduled to go before the Appropriations Committee tomorrow. Coming up on 13 News Now at 5, we'll tell you how much the program would cost to implement. Another local town is trying to stop offshore drilling in our area waters. The town of Southern Shores on the Outer Banks is the latest locality to pass a resolution opposing drilling. The resolution asks the federal government to exempt the North Carolina coast from drilling. Last month, Kill Devil Hills released a statement opposing drilling. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper is also asking for an exemption for the Tar Heel State.
Tonight, all eyes are still on the National Weather Service after yesterday's false tsunami alert. This message went to certain phones in Hampton Roads and along the East Coast. Now there are questions about the procedures at the National Weather Service. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shen went inside the Wakefield Center to see how things work.
Hey guys, well, we're at the National Weather Service here in Wakefield. Come with us. We'll show you a little bit about what we learned here today. You can see they have the models up here showing the weather conditions, and they showed us exactly how long it takes to send out an actual test. Now, it takes less than a minute, as you can see on this monitor. We have the screen pulled up with the notice for the test tsunami that was out yesterday. Now, of course, it was falsely picked up, but we'll tell you coming up at 5 o'clock how it comes down to this very last line here on the tsunami test warning and why the National Weather Service says it really wasn't their fault yesterday. Reporting in Wakefield, I'm Megan Shen, 13 News Now.
This week, nearly 400 sailors will have to say goodbye to their families. The USS Oak Hill is set to deploy. The Oak Hill will join the USS Iwo Jima and the USS New York on a 6-month-long deployment. The ships will head to the Middle East and Europe. Last year, the Oak Hill and its crew spent months helping with hurricane relief. The Oak Hill leaves Little Creek Fort Story on Friday.
Faster internet for more areas of the Eastern Shore. Broadband service is about to expand. Check out the maps. The areas around Kipto Peak, Townsend, and Greenbackville will get what is called fiber to the home broadband soon. This is part of a project run by the Eastern Shore of Virginia Broadband Authority. The Fiber to the Home initiative started in September 2016, and it is steadily expanding to more homes since then.